Disasters are events that cause great damage and suffering. They disrupt our lives in profound ways. Disasters can be natural or caused by humans. They can strike suddenly or build gradually. Regardless of their origin or speed, disasters demand our attention and action. We must understand them to prepare for them. Imagine a peaceful town. Suddenly, an earthquake shakes the ground, buildings crumble, and people are trapped. This is a disaster. It's a stark reminder of nature's power. It shows us the importance of being ready for unexpected events. Disasters affect everyone. They don't discriminate. Whether you're rich or poor, young or old, disasters can impact your life. This is why disaster management is crucial. It helps us minimize the damage and protect ourselves. Natural disasters are events caused by forces of nature. They are a powerful reminder of our planet's might. These events can be terrifying and destructive. Examples include earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, and wildfires. Earthquakes happen when the Earth's plates shift. This releases energy and shakes the ground violently. Buildings can collapse and the ground can crack. Floods occur when there is too much rain or when rivers overflow. Homes and businesses can be submerged, displacing people and causing widespread damage. Hurricanes are powerful storms with strong winds and heavy rain. They form over warm ocean waters. Hurricanes can cause storm surges, which are rises in sea level that flood coastal areas. Wildfires are another type of natural disaster. They are uncontrolled fires that burn through forests and grasslands. Drought and human activities can increase the risk of wildfires. Not all disasters are natural. Some are caused by human actions or mistakes. These are called human-made disasters. They can be just as devastating as natural disasters. Industrial accidents are a prime example. A chemical leak from a factory can contaminate the air and water. This can lead to widespread health problems. Oil spills are another human-made disaster. They pollute the ocean, harming marine life and coastal ecosystems. Terrorist attacks are a tragic example of human-made disasters. These acts of violence are intended to cause fear and destruction. They can result in loss of life and damage to property. War and conflict also fall under this category. They cause immense suffering and displacement. Disaster management is how we prepare for and respond to disasters. It involves a range of activities. These activities aim to minimize the negative impacts of disasters. Disaster management is crucial for saving lives and protecting communities. There are 3 key stages of disaster management. The first stage is preparedness. This involves taking steps to be ready for a disaster before it happens. This includes developing early warning systems, creating evacuation plans, and educating the public. The second stage is response. This is the immediate action taken during and after a disaster. It includes search and rescue operations, providing medical aid, and restoring essential services. The final stage is recovery. This focuses on helping communities rebuild and recover after a disaster. It includes providing shelter, food, and water, as well as rebuilding infrastructure. Section 5. Preparing for the unpredictable steps to take now. Being prepared can make a world of difference when disaster strikes. It can be the difference between life and death. It's not about living in fear, but about being informed and ready to act. First, learn about the specific risks in your area. Are you prone to earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes? Once you know the risks, you can take specific steps to prepare. Secure heavy objects in your home to prevent them from falling during an earthquake. Know your evacuation route. In case of a flood or hurricane, create a family communication plan. This ensures everyone knows what to do and where to go during a disaster. Practice your plan regularly. This will make it second nature if a disaster occurs. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about disaster preparedness, the safer you and your loved ones will be. Section 6. Building your lifeline, the essential emergency kit. An emergency kit is essential for any household. It contains supplies you might need during and after a disaster. It's your lifeline if you're stranded or without power. Your kit should include enough food and water for at least 3 days. Choose non-perishable items like canned goods, energy bars, and bottled water. Pack a first aid kit with bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and any personal medications. Include a flashlight, a battery-powered radio, and extra batteries. These will be crucial if the power goes out. Pack warm clothing, blankets and a whistle to signal for help. Don't forget personal hygiene items like soap, toothpaste and toilet paper. Keep your emergency kit in an easily accessible place. Make sure everyone in your household knows where it is. Section 7, Riding Out the Storm, How to Respond During a Disaster. Knowing how to respond during a disaster can save your life. It's about staying calm and following safety guidelines. Your actions during those critical moments can make all the difference. If you're under an evacuation order, evacuate immediately. Don't wait for the situation to worsen. If you're sheltering in place, stay informed about the disaster. Listen to the radio or TV for updates from authorities. Stay away from windows and doors during an earthquake. Seek shelter under a sturdy piece of furniture. In a flood, move to higher ground. Avoid walking or driving through flooded areas. During a fire, evacuate immediately. If you encounter smoke, crawl low to the ground. Section 8. After the dust settles, recovering and rebuilding. Recovering from a disaster is a long and challenging process. It requires resilience, community support and government assistance. It's about rebuilding lives and communities. After a disaster, check on your neighbors and offer help if needed. Report any damage to your property to your insurance company. Be patient with utility companies as they work to restore power, water and communication services. Follow safety guidelines when returning home. Be aware of potential hazards like downed power lines or unstable structures. Dispose of damaged food and water properly to prevent the spread of diseases. Remember, recovery takes time. Be kind to yourself and others as you navigate this challenging period. Section 9. The power of community, standing strong together. Disasters often bring out the best in humanity. Communities come together to support each other in times of need. It's a reminder that we're all in this together. Neighbors help neighbors. Volunteers offer their time and skills. Donations pour in from across the country and around the world. This collective spirit is essential for recovery and rebuilding. Community organizations play a vital role in disaster response and recovery. The Red Cross provides shelter, food, and emotional support to those affected. Local churches and community centers often serve as gathering places for people who have lost their homes. Section 10. Learning from tragedy, building a safer future. Every disaster offers valuable lessons. We must learn from these experiences to prevent future tragedies. By studying past disasters, we can improve our preparedness and response efforts. Governments and organizations analyze data from disasters to identify areas for improvement. They use this information to develop better building codes, strengthen infrastructure, and enhance early warning systems. Education is key. By teaching people about disaster preparedness, we empower them to protect themselves and their families. We must also address the root causes of disasters, such as climate change. By reducing our carbon footprint and investing in renewable energy, we can mitigate the impacts of extreme weather events. Remember, building a safer future requires a collective effort. We must all do our part to learn from the past and prepare for the future. Section 11. Disaster management, a shared responsibility. Disaster management is not just the responsibility of governments and organizations. It's a shared responsibility that involves everyone. We all have a role to play in creating safer communities. By taking individual preparedness steps, we reduce the burden on emergency services during a disaster. By volunteering our time and resources, we contribute to the recovery effort. By staying informed and advocating for policies that promote disaster resilience, we create a safer future for all. Remember, disasters can strike anywhere at any time, but by working together, we can overcome these challenges and build more resilient communities. Let's embrace the spirit of preparedness and create a world where disasters don't have to become catastrophes.